Number 9, the unmapped ocean floor. We've sent 12 people to walk on the moon that is over 238,000 miles away. We've landed rovers on Mars, but only about 27% of Earth's ocean floor has been mapped to modern standards. Despite covering over 70% of our planet, we know more about the surface of Mars than the seabed beneath the oceans. The Seabed 2030 project, launched in 2017, aims to completely map the ocean floor, but progress is slow because the deep ocean reaches pressures over 1,000 atmospheres, which crushes most equipment. It's pitch black below 200 meters. Sending sonar equipped ships costs millions, and less than 0.001% of the deep sea floor has been visually observed. Most mapping comes from satellites measuring gravity anomalies, which only detect features larger than 3 miles. Entire mountain ranges remain unknown. In 2024, researchers discovered 4 massive seamounts off Central America, including one nearly 3 kilometers tall. We've traveled 100 times farther into space than into our own ocean. We've mapped distant asteroids while most of our home planet remains a complete mystery. We're living on a planet we've barely explored. Number 8, the abyss and its impossible creatures. The abyssal zone sits 13 to 20,000 feet below the surface in complete darkness, near freezing temperatures, and pressure that would crush you. For decades, scientists assumed nothing could survive such harsh climates. They were wrong. In 2024 and 2025, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration and Australian expeditions discovered over 100 new species, defying everything we know about biology. The faceless fish, gelatinous with no visible eyes, hadn't been seen since 1873. The smooth-head blobfish that thrives where pressure would liquefy human tissue. Now scientists estimate millions of undiscovered species live in the abyss with biological adaptations and evolutions. Some produce their own light. Others survive without sunlight, feeding on chemicals from hydrothermal vents. And when people joke that megalodon might be hiding down there, scientists genuinely can't rule it out. We simply don't know what's in the abyss. We're living on a planet that has an entire alien world at the bottom of the ocean. Number 7, the purple orb nobody can identify. In July 2016, Robert Ballard's research exploration vessel, Nautilus, was exploring 5,300 feet below the surface off California when cameras spotted something bizarre: a perfect purple sphere sitting motionless on the seafloor. It looked like a tiny alien planet. Scientists were completely stumped. Someone joked it was a spider egg sac. Another suggested a tiny octopus. They nicknamed it Blobus purpillus and battled a crab to retrieve it. Nearly a decade later, researchers still don't know exactly what it is. DNA analysis suggests it's an unknown species of velutinid sea snail, but confirmation is pending. Its structure doesn't match any known mollusk. Its color is unusual. Its behavior is strange. It just sits there, perfectly round, glowing faintly purple. The deep ocean contains so many undiscovered species that even when we retrieve specimens and analyze their DNA, we can't match them to anything in our databases. Even a simple purple blob can remain a mystery for years. Imagine how much else is down there we haven't even seen yet. Number 6, the Baltic Sea Anomaly. In June 2011, Swedish ocean explorers searching for shipwrecks in the Baltic Sea detected something on sonar about 300 feet below the surface. A black burnt oval object roughly 200 feet across, with straight edges and what appeared to be a staircase leading to a circular platform. The image looked like the Millennium Falcon from Star Wars. The Ocean X team returned in 2012, claiming their electronics mysteriously malfunctioned near the object. Cameras failed, satellite phones stopped working. Eventually, they were able to find the anomaly and returned with black stone samples from the structure. It was brought to geologist Volker Bruchert at Stockholm University, who believed it was likely volcanic from glacial deposits, which are massive rock left behind when ice sheets melted 10,000 years ago. It's possible because the Baltic Sea sits on an ancient glacial landscape full of unusual formations, but nobody has conducted a thorough, well funded expedition to study it definitively. Most analysis comes from sonar images, which can be misleading. And Andreas Olsen, an underwater archaeologist, believes the object is man made because it appeared to be molded. But without further investigation and research, we can't say for certain what it is. Number 5, the Bermuda Triangle. The Bermuda Triangle, defined by Miami, Puerto Rico, and Bermuda, has terrified travelers for decades. Over 50 ships and 20 planes disappeared without a trace. In 1918, Navy supply ship USS Cyclops disappeared with over 300 crew members on board. In 1945, a group of 5 torpedo bombers known as Flight 19 disappeared during a routine training flight from Florida. No wreckage was ever found. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration officially states the Bermuda Triangle is statistically no more dangerous than any other heavily traveled ocean region, but they also acknowledges unique conditions that could explain incidents. The Gulf Stream creates rapid weather changes. Hurricanes form frequently. Magnetic variation causes compasses to point to true north instead of magnetic north, confusing navigators. Then there's the methane theory. Massive methane hydrate deposits sit beneath the seafloor. If released, gas could reduce water density, sinking ships rapidly. It might create air pockets interfering with aircraft engines. Scientists have found evidence of past methane eruptions, but no evidence that they've caused the disappearances. It's truly terrifying that even with today's advancement in technology, we have found zero wreckage or trace. And until every disappearance is explained, the mystery lives on. Number 4, the Mariana Trench. The Mariana Trench is the deepest part of the ocean with depths nearly 36,000 feet below the surface. That's about 7,000 feet deeper than Mount Everest. Only 3 people have visited it: Jacques Piccard and Don Walsh in 1960 and filmmaker James Cameron in 2012. At the bottom, it's pitch dark. Temperature hovers just above freezing, with pressure enough to crush a human instantly. Yet there's a thriving ecosystem: snailfish, amphipods, strange microbes, and organisms living in lethal conditions. These creatures evolved biological mechanisms we barely understand. Their cells counteract pressure with specialized molecules. They survive without sunlight, feeding on organic matter drifting from the surface or chemicals from hydrothermal vents. We don't know how many species live there. We don't understand their biochemistry. The Mariana Trench proves life is more resilient than we imagine, but it also proves how little we understand our own planet's darkest corners. And I'm sure the marine biologists and scientists are itching to discover and learn more. Number 3, Japan's underwater Atlantis. In 1986, dive operator Kihachiro Aratake discovered large stone structures off Yonaguni, Japan. The formations look like stepped pyramids with flat terraces, right angle corners, and what appear to be stairs that lead up to the top. They're called the Yonaguni Monument and given the nickname Japan's Atlantis. For nearly 40 years, scientists have argued whether they're man-made or natural. Geologist Masaki Kimura from the University of the Ryukyus believes they're ruins of an ancient civilization possibly 2,000 to 3,000 years old. He points to features resembling staircases, roads, and carved animals. Boston University geologist Robert Schoch disagrees, arguing the formations are natural sandstone shaped by tectonic activity and erosion. Both scientists have dived the site multiple times, and both have published papers, but the structures are too eroded to show clear tool marks, and carbon dating doesn't work on stone. Until new evidence emerges, Yonaguni remains unexplained, and today you can still dive there to explore Japan's Atlantis. Number 2, the Milky Sea Phenomenon. For over 400 years, sailors have reported a phenomenon where vast areas of ocean are glowing steadily at night, sometimes for weeks or even months. Not the blue bioluminescent glow caused by dinoflagellates that you may have seen on social media of the magical shoreline beach. This is different. It's a soft greenish white glow that can stretch up to 40,000 square miles and sometimes large and bright enough that it's visible in space. Scientists believe the glow comes from bioluminescent microscopic bacteria called Vibrio harveyi, but only one water sample has ever been collected back in 1985 by a US Navy research vessel. Researchers at Colorado State University, led by Justin Hudson, compiled a 400-year database of Milky Sea sightings, combining sailor reports, Marine Observer Journal accounts, and satellite data. The database reveals that this phenomena primarily appear in the Arabian Sea and Southeast Asian waters and may be linked to climate events like the Indian Ocean Dipole and El Nino, but nobody knows how or why the bacteria coordinate this glow or what ecological role it plays. We've never studied a Milky Sea in real time. We don't know if they signal a healthy or unhealthy ocean ecosystem. The ocean can glow for months, and we still can't decipher the message. Number 1, where Earth's water came from. Water covers about 70% of Earth's surface, but Earth formed in the inner solar system close to the sun, where temperatures were too hot for water to condense. So how did we end up with oceans? The leading theory is that comets and asteroids delivered water after Earth cooled. Scientists calls it icy planetesimals, and billions of them bombarded early Earth. But when scientists analyze the isotopic composition of water in comets, specifically the ratio of deuterium to hydrogen, it doesn't match Earth's oceans. Comet water is too heavy. Some asteroids, particularly carbonaceous chondrites, have isotopic ratios closer to Earth's water, suggesting they might have been the primary source. But how did enough asteroids hit Earth to fill entire oceans without destroying the planet? Another theory suggests Earth's water was always here, trapped in minerals deep within the planet, then released through volcanic activity over billions of years. Some combination of all these sources is probably correct, but we don't know the proportions. And we can't run experiments to fully verify. We can only analyze meteorites, model planetary formation, and make educated guesses. The origin of Earth's water is still an unsolved mystery. Every living thing depends on water, and we don't know where they came from. We can only assume where it might have likely came from. Think about that next time you take a drink. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe to see more.